Hello, friends, and welcome to Swoontower Soccer. I'm Steph Crignola.
And I'm Mike Crignola.
And I'm Jeremiah Bentley.
Let's go!
We did it.
We've got special guest
Awesome.
Jeremiah Bentley on the show today. He was so bummed that he didn't get to do Moontower with Landon. So I offered that he should just replace Mike tonight.
Wow.
But Mike insisted it should be the three of us. So we've got special guest host tonight. We're going to go through our fit checks. We're going to go through our match moves. We're going to go through our goal selly. We're going to go through our social media standouts. We are going to have a match preview with SanDiego.Futbol for San Diego this weekend. And then, as always, we'll end with the man of my jersey.
Yeah, so Jeremiah, first off, I wanted to thank you for coming on the show. I know you have always kind of championed the Swoontower brand on the parent show. How excited are you?
I feel like this is the perfect show for me to join. I'm just so excited because I love what y'all do. I also really love the I like that you're like showing your serious soccer side this year at the same time like continuing like your Swoontower side. Like the versatility to do both of those things is something that I don't know that Landon and I can really do. So I appreciate y'all
I don't know. I think
standing up for that.
Should talk about dogs more.
Oh, and then y'all may have like quit X forever, but if you didn't, did y'all not see that like Max Bretos did a fake like interview with a dog at a LAFC match like yesterday? I feel like T.O. Max is like stealing from y'all. So I would encourage you to go back and check that out. Yeah. I was like, this is Mike and Steph's bit. Like, what are you doing, Max? But Max is obviously a friend of ours, so I'm sure it was all in good spirit and good fun. But I immediately thought of y'all when I saw that online yesterday.
Yeah, and we got to know, how did he do on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, two out of 10. I mean, compared to y'all, nothing even close. I mean, it was like the dog is a 10 out of 10 because dogs are always a 10 out of 10. But like,
yeah.
Max doesn't get it. He doesn't have the commitment to the craft that the two of you have for interviewing.
Honestly, it's hard out there being a dog interviewer. I'm not going to lie. Which kind of brings us to the sad news that because this was an away match, there was no Match Scott to interview. But we filled that time by interviewing Jeremiah, whose enthusiasm is matched only by such luminaries as Stella or
Breakfast Taco.
Sure. Yeah. Any of the past guests that we've had in this segment.
I want to know, Jeremiah, as we go through our fit checks, which really just like when we have away days, it's just the little uniform. What of the away, I'm springing this on you. What of the away uniforms is your favorite? Like, are you a sweatshirt, sweatpants combo kind of guy? Are you a like windbreaker jacket and like more warm-up pants kind of guy? What's your away day vibe?
The graphic tee with the terry cloth shorts, is that the Jeremiah Bentley away uniform?
So I would have never said the tee until this week. And like a lot of those guys made the tee look better than I expected that they could on that away trip. So I'm into it more than I thought I would have been. You know, I think y'all know this. Like as soon as Ilya did the first press conference in the new Adidas pullover, like that, I like bought it the next day. So I'm a big fan of that look. And every time my wife does laundry, or every time we do laundry together, she's like, "You live in Texas. Why do you own 42 hoodies?" I'm like, "Because I love them." So that's like my natural vibe. But yeah, I like the tees this time around.
The tees are good this year. It almost has that like faded vintage style to it. But we know they're brand new.
I want to talk real quick about the backpacks, the Yeti backpacks that all of the guys got from Yeti this year. I want one so badly. Yeti, if you're listening, I know you have an extra one.
Extra 2
or 4.
They can both say Crignola. All 4 of them can say Crignola.
Sure, absolutely.
Of our dads, but that's fine.
Well, yeah, like
Jeremiah, do you want a backpack that says Crignola on it?
Absolutely, yeah, no doubt. If I get the backpack, I don't care what it says on it, but Crignola is even better.
Dude, honestly, these backpacks are like, I'm never jealous of like the team exclusive merch until this backpack.
Yeah,
that one got me. Shout out to, by the way, John Gallagher's travel pillow. This is, I think, my favorite feature of John Gallagher as a vibes guy is that he's the kind of guy who brings his pillow on vacation.
You think it's a feature, not a bug?
Yeah, I know it's a feature because I bring my pillow and I get the best sleep and everyone else struggles. So I get it.
Mike, you get the best sleep every night, and I struggle every night at home. And the pillow doesn't matter for me.
Have you considered taking it on a trip? Maybe it imbues it with magic powers.
Maybe.
I mean,
I'll
it
try
worked.
it.
Like, not to get into the game too quickly. I'm just saying, John Gallagher owned Denny Bouanga. It's the magic pillow.
So do you guys have like things that you travel with that you have to have? Like Mike, you're a pillow guy. Steph, is there something that you have to have every road trip or every overnight trip to make it feel like you're comfortable and you're on your own? Do you have a wubby? Do you have
I have an
stuffed animal?
EpiPen.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's not.
EpiPen, anxiety medication.
Wow, no, that's depression medication. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't have like comfy thing.
You go everywhere with that ostrich pillow.
No, I don't really love using it. Sometimes I bring it. Oh, you know what I do need? I need my uniform. My pajamas. What I wear for pajamas is basically exclusively the we got basketball jersey versions of the Austin FC jersey, the year one, like drop shipped, random, custom made, and it's like 17 size is too big for me, and basically I wear that. And one night I had a nightmare that I was wearing that, and Mike called me an old Italian grandma, which is exactly what I look like when I'm wearing it, and he was so embarrassed of me, and now I'm self-conscious about it.
Jeremiah, I can't stress enough how much this is like a nonna. Like this is like straight out of the old country. Like she's making sauce in this thing. Like it's so gigantic.
I call it my uniform, and that's the thing I would bring. What about you? We're airing our secrets.
Me. Well, a giant child everywhere I go.
Your
That's
security,
your travel.
Yeah.
your security
Yeah.
child.
Yeah, it's funny. I told him we were just in Denton for like a medical thing last week, and I told like every night at home, our corgi puppy sleeps next to me, and like when I get stressed, I wake up and I like rub her belly, and so I told him like if Daddy's worried tonight, I'm gonna like. He's like, no, nope, that's not gonna happen. So that's how I travel.
I'm waking you up and rubbing your tummy.
Rubbing your tummy to make me feel
Full-grown
better.
adult man child.
Oh my God.
Incredible.
Okay.
Where did you watch the match this weekend, Jeremiah?
Oh, wait. What night was that again? No,
It was daytime on Saturday.
daytime. Oh, I watched it from the house. I did watch this
Okay.
one at the house. Sorry, I've gone through a lot. Yeah, we watched it at the house on Saturday afternoon. I mean, we loved it. It was. I mean, Austin did exactly what they set out to do, which is why I was a little bit sad to not have the chance to talk about the match, because it felt like Austin's had some matches where we had 0 possession or 29% possession or whatever, and because we were terrible, but it felt very intentional.
Yeah.
On Saturday afternoon. So I honestly love the commitment to the style of play and the way everybody sacrificed their own personal good for the betterment of the group. And it felt like the result that Austin should have gotten out of the way that they played. They executed perfectly on the game plan.
But did you see the kisses?
No.
Oh, there are so many. Like season 2025 has
season
so
of the
many
smooch.
kisses. Yeah, this is
No,
the
tell
season
me
of
about
the
it.
Smooch.
So every sub, somebody's smooching. It's amazing. Mirto Uzuni loves to give a smooch. Ilie loves to
a
smooch. It's just wonderful. It's so like sensible and sweet and just perfect. We love Smooch season 2025.
Yeah.
I love that too. I mean, y'all love everything about Ilie too, right? Like everything,
gosh.
everything. That guy's just a beautiful human. I had the chance to talk to Nate Bukaty from Sporting Kansas City, just generally about them. And he's like, look, if there's one thing you're going to love about anything, like Ilie is the most beautiful human I've ever met. And then Max Bretos makes sure and pointed that out. So I'm like, sure,
Yeah,
guys,
all of
we all
our
love him.
guests
But now I'm
too.
like, no, I love him. We love him. He's
Yeah.
our dude now. I don't care how long he's with y'all, but God, he's so great. He's just so great.
He's so wonderful. We watched the match today, this past weekend at ABW. There was a Queertopia benefit that Los Verdes was throwing at the watch party. It was super duper fun. The vibes were impeccable. When Guilherme Biru scored his goal, we got a live rendition of the stadium announcer goal call. Like it was
wow.
it was so fun. It was such a wild, good time, and the crowd went nuts for the Smooches.
Yeah. Well, and I think the biggest reaction is when the final whistle blew and everyone thought, oh, you know what this means? Locker room picture. Well, guess what?
We got coaches on the field in full clothes instead.
They are withholding until we behave better. So everyone listening, be better.
Yeah, whatever you did, they know.
They know. Comment something nice right now on a player's Instagram profile.
Give them a
screenshot
compliment.
it and send it to us and let us know what you've done to boost their morale when you're listening. And then maybe we'll be good enough for a picture next time.
Yeah, I will say the amount of comments on social media that have gone from score some goals to where's the picture is incredible.
Yeah.
What a week.
Well, we scored a goal.
That's right.
So we're going to do a goal celly rating.
Ooh, yeah. I can't wait to hear Jeremiah's goal celly rating for this one. So we'll set the stage. Guilherme Biro just knocks in this header. He trips over the defender after just owning him in the air. Mirto Ozuni throws his arms up like a child on the playground because he's unsure if the goal went in or not. And then, there's so many shots of our friends in the crowd. Shout out to Laura in the very stylish Moontower tee before they cut back to Guilherme hugging everyone on the sideline. Jeremiah, you're the guest. You get the first Selly rating. What are you giving this one?
I'm giving this one a 9.8 out of 10 for just wholesomeness. It's just like wholesome,
okay,
loving, positive. Was his most athletic or acrobatic move? No, but like vibes, absolutely, like 100% vibes.
Nice.
Okay. I'm going to give this one, I'm going to be a little harsh, 6 out of 10 because I don't think there was a proper goal celly. And Biru has shot so many times. Like for
He's
him
got something cooking.
Well, he should have, right? For him to shoot so many attempts, like you would think he's doing it so that he can show off his goal celly. Like in Danny Bowanga's house, I thought he was going to do a backflip, so that for me just knocked some points off.
Yeah, I think this goal was representative. This goal celebration was representative of the game plan going into the match. It was a team effort. They needed the crowd support to will them to victory, to will them to the celebration as well, right? There was so much crowd shot in this celly. For me, that's a 9.5.
Whoa.
Yeah. I really believe that they stuck to their guns and they executed. Everyone knew what they needed to do. It would have been a 10 if we had seen an inversion.
Okay.
Anyone. Any kind.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with Jeremiah. I think this was a good team celebration.
Which
That's
the
why there
Beater
are
thing
3
reminds
votes.
me. Yeah. Do you guys do like memes? Are we gonna do the how many Beater's back pocket has Buwanga in it? Like those were
Yeah,
all
this
10
bad
out of
boy.
10. Every one of those. Like I loved every single one of those, and people shouldn't stop just because the game's days old. Like keep them coming.
Agree.
This
Agree.
bad boy can fit so many Denny
Frenchmen
Bowangas in
in
it, and it's just John Gallagher. Like
Okay. I hate to rush us, but we're running tight on time, and we want to talk about the reason that Jeremiah was so excited to be on the show tonight.
That's right.
So we're into our social media standouts. We got a video today. We weren't about to get Moontowered. We got it today of the boys playing a game where pillars dropped, sticks dropped, and they had to catch them with one hand, and they didn't know which one was going to drop. Jeremiah, first reactions, go.
I love everything about this. I love the guys. I love the vibes. I love the guys in it. Like we just talked about Ilie, the fact that he was the main character was great. I love Brad being an expert on the first try and also so confident in himself. He's like, of course I've got this.
Right.
I love everybody else being like not as good at it as Brad and making excuses for how great Brad is. I love John Gallagher's arrogance about it. And I love that I don't know anything about this game except it keeps showing up on Instagram and suddenly the guys are playing it. And I feel like Austin FC social media should be more whimsical in moments like they were today. Like we could use some just fun, less produced content and it would be amazing.
Yes.
Just silly stuff. My favorite part of this is Brad, big hands. Like Guilherme Biru's like so right that like when you look at Brad Stuver's hand and then you look at John Gallagher's hand, like it's like cheating. Like John should have been able to use both hands, is I think what I'm trying to say here. Like he still would have been at a disadvantage, and I think he would have been closer.
My favorite part is when they asked Svatak if he wanted to try it again, and he just said no.
No, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
Thanks, but no thanks.
That was enough whimsy for him.
Yeah, this is not something we do in Ukraine. He also had a perspective, like a possible perspective of like, oh, I don't want to take up your time, right? Because the way he said it, like, no, that's okay, and like, it's okay. I don't need to.
I think he's giving him too much credit.
Yeah. I was Steph. I think he's like, I had 20 seconds of fun allocated in my day, and now I've had that, and it's time to be serious again.
Yeah. Jean's like focus face.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of half expected like his tongue to be like sticking out of his mouth, like when like that is a focus thing.
Yep. Yeah, it very much reminded me of the Owen Wolf rolling quarters video from earlier in the season. Like, I want to know how many times Jean actually did that.
I want to know how mad John Gallagher was. He was upsetty spaghetti.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a game where like the more on tilt you get, the worse you're going to do. And so like he was just doing himself no favors. Great content.
Absolutely great content.
Who do you wish they would have included in that video that you didn't get to see?
I would always take Danny for like light audio content. I don't know if he would have been good or if he would have been bad, but he would have been entertaining.
Yeah.
Which is really what we needed.
That's right.
Yeah. That's a good show.
What about you, Steph?
I wanted to see, who did I want to see? Why did my brain just say Ruben Gabrielson? Wow. Immediately. That is what I want to see. I do think Owen would have been fun because of like we've seen him if he doesn't get it perfect, like how aggressive he gets committed to it.
Yep.
You?
I wanted Nico Dubersarski.
Just sweet angel.
He's just so like I want him to be the little boy of the club so bad. Like
the little boy of our hearts.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, Jeremiah.
Was there anything that jumped out to you this week in Austin FC player or universe social media?
No, I've been pretty offline since Saturday, so I do not have a good answer to that. So
no worries.
No, I'm just the video from today, and I appreciate y'all letting me come on and talk about that because it is just pure joy and fun, and we should do more of it. And we should do more of these. Like I should come back on and do these little bits again. So thanks so much for having me, and I look forward to y'all like doing real soccer talk after like I get done with dumb things now.
Yeah, and then you can catch up on what you missed in social media over the week with us when this episode comes out.
Perfect. Looking forward to Friday.
Jeremiah, you're amazing. Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
All right, Steph, what do you say we do an ad break and then get to the rest of these social media standouts?
I say, yeah. Swoontower Soccer is brought to you by our friends at FEF Law, the official injury lawyers of Austin FC.
FBF is a different kind of personal injury law firm dedicated to community, transparency, and client education. And they have their own podcast called Summary Judgment. Check it out wherever you get your podcasts.
You can go to fef.law to find out what makes FEF a different kind of injury law firm and why understanding your legal options can dramatically change the outcome of a case.
Once again, that's fbf.law.
FEF.law.
It's fbf.wow. Remember that commercial?
No, but that's not what it is. It's
No.
FEF.law.
You're right.
Our premier sponsor is McGuire Woods Consulting, helping clients in the public affairs space from lobbying at the local, statewide, and federal levels to digital and communications campaigns across the country.
McGuire Woods Consulting has offices in 10 MLS cities, but only advertises on this podcast because it's the home of the best team in the world, Austin FC.
Contact our friends at McGuire Woods Consulting at www.mwcllc.com for more information.
You did it good, Stephanie.
Yeah, I did it good, Stephanie. All right. So thank you again to Jeremiah for hanging on to our social media standouts and our other segments. Thanks,
Nailed it.
Jeremiah, for hanging out. It was really great to have you here. But we are going to end our Swoontower section with some hard-hitting journalism here.
That's right. Beep, 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 beep. Breaking news. Brendan Heinzike joins Brandon Vasquez in coffee appreciation posts. This is 2 in 2 weeks from Brandon Vasquez and a first from Brendan Heinzike. Pretty excited to see it as a coffee boy myself.
Okay, so here's the thing. So we've got Brendan and Brandon. If you put like an E and an A together in their names, like it would be like Breendon, but you know what that's close to is bean. So I'm thinking like these are our coffee beandons.
Our Bean Boys.
Our bean well, yeah, but like if you want to say their names a little bit with it, they're beandon.
Beandon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beandon Vasquike.
No.
Wow. Can we talk about the LAFC story of the match?
Yeah, it was really amazing. We're so back,
Yeah.
media team.
Can we talk about no locker room picture?
Yeah, what the heck? We're down bad.
Nailed it.
I will say, we asked last week where we would, who we would see in the beats that
That's
Ilya
right.
gave the team, and we got a few pictures. Now, I did some snooping, some zooming in, some screenshotting and zooming in. The note that Ilya gave all of the players literally says, like on the bottom, if you do post these, make sure to tag like at Beats by Dre or whatever. And BV did not in the story that he broke the rules with the picture of the note in the background where you could kind of read make sure to tag. So
Wow.
yeah,
he's
a rule breaker.
yeah, he's a bad
rebel.
boy.
Yeah, he's a bad
If you like a bad boy of Austin FC, Brandon Vasquez, Superman
Yeah.
might be your guy.
That's your guy.
Uh,
Speaking of celebrity couple names, I need one for Jean and Owen because the club keeps just doing pictures of the two of them together.
I think they know.
Obviously they know. Like they're best friends, obviously. But we need a name for their celebrity couple. It's hard. And we can
That is a
toss
hard
this
one.
to our listeners.
Yes.
Let us know.
Listeners, help us with the Jean and Owen best friend couple name.
Yeah. The third sweet little
The
boy.
third amigo.
The third, yeah, but
The
Getting
third
left out of the
musketeer.
getting left out of the socials on that is Denny Pereira,
Mm.
who was on the Cooligans this week in a really fun interview.
Such a good interview. First off, I love the Cooligans so much. They're such an inspiration for like the style of soccer content that I like to consume and like to create. And so seeing one of my favorite players on their show was a big deal. but also learning about the number of pets my guy Danny Pereira has had was shocking.
I don't know if it's shocking.
There
Like
were
it's
so
a normal
many.
number of pets to have had. Mike, how many pets have you had?
Oh, way too many.
Right. I've
Uh,
had the same way too many.
yeah.
So like how can the two of us sit here and say that Danny's had a lot of pets when he's had fewer pets than both of us?
I don't know if he has had fewer pets than me. I think we might be even. Two hamsters?
Yeah.
Well, they ate each other, so I guess.
Yeah, I had two of those as well. I had two hamsters. One ate the other one though. They were called Hugs and Kisses, and Hugs got really fat and Kisses got really skinny, and then all of a sudden Kisses was gone.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, Danny was on Cooligans and he talked about his cat Mikey, and he talked about training and why Danny needs like a best friend.
To train
Jean
with him.
Owen, do not leave him. Do not leave him alone. This man needs a gym buddy.
It was really sweet though to get him to let woo. It was really sweet though to get to hear him talk about his story and his journey and his family and like what college soccer meant to him and how it was difficult and then coming up into the pros. It was also really sweet to hear him talk about like his foundation work up against Brad Stuver getting the 4ATX Foundation Award, and kind of like them ribbing each other for it is just so sweet. And those are the things that we really love to see with our boys.
Yeah, I really do think they might be right though that Danny was like, "Yo, can I help out? Like, I'm bored." Like,
Yeah. I also want to see this Warzone tournament because
oh
Danny is
yes.
really adamant that he's the best Warzone player.
Someone I've never seen play Warzone with Danny is CJ Fodre. I have
Mm.
seen both Jean and Owen play with him.
Okay, we're
And
not
so
like doing conspiracy theories of like Mean Girls.
no, 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 no. I was just trying to find a segue, and then I remembered ADHD style that I have seen the other two boys in the Three Musketeers play video games with him. Uh,
Okay.
anyway, the segue was CJ uh, posted a some recent pic this week where he showed off a bunch of his fit checks, a bunch of his action shots from training and from matches. Also, a picture of him wearing Ilie's Beats,
Mhm.
and he did not tag Beats by Dre
That's what
either.
I'm saying.
Bad boys,
Like these
bad boys,
boys just don't read the rules.
cool guys, breaking rules,
I
breaking
mean,
hearts.
yeah. Yeah, breaking marketing partnership hearts. Speaking of a heartbreaker, we got some sneaky social media pictures of Julio Cascante back at practice. He's gonna be on the field this weekend, and it's gonna be awesome.
You think he's gonna play?
Yeah,
You think he's gonna start?
yeah,
You think he's gonna score a goal?
yeah,
Nice. I love all of that.
yeah. Me too. He's
Speaking
gonna
of
score 2 goals.
speaking of goals, it was almost Jimmy time in Liberia this
Okay,
week.
it was Jimmy time.
Yeah, but it was almost like look at the
Real Jimmy
watch.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jimmy started for Liberia and he
Let's
had a
go.
really great shot that was like a crazy like it was a really, really good shot.
Yeah.
And he was so sweet. He's been sharing out videos of fans celebrating him. It's just so fun to like see his joy.
Keeper got so lucky to save it with his face. I'm just saying, Jimmy
Yeah,
deserved that goal.
Jimmy did deserve that goal. You know who else deserves a goal?
Amen.
Anyone who is interacting on each other's Instagram stories because it's so cute and pure, especially our best friend Beso.
That's right. Sabovich has been leaving comments on literally everyone's posts.
Everyone.
I think my favorite was his comment on Galley's post from this week, which was just eating wings for a living, and then the meat emoji.
It's not even a Jilga wing. It was
Yeah, it wasn't a
like
chicken wing.
caveman meat on a bone
Yeah, it was
emoji.
a Flintstones meat emoji, right? Like the barbecue rib or whatever.
Yeah.
But like so good.
So good.
And true, Galley
Yes.
owned Denny Bouanga this week.
Yes, which earned him a well-deserved spot on the team of the week, which if you look at the picture of the team of the week or like the
The
MLS
MLS.
graphic,
Yeah.
it's everyone's like super normal headshot and then Callie with his stupid finger to his forehead.
That finger to his forehead, A, is awesome, and B, is a nod to his like teammate who passed away. So don't you feel bad now?
I do.
That's an Anton Walk's like
But he was doing it before that.
yeah, him and Anton used to do it together. Yeah. So
Oh no.
yeah. Just think about that the next time you make fun of his celly.
Oh well.
10 out of 10
God.
celly if you ask me.
Okay. Wow.
That said, Austin made a post celebrating John Gallagher this weekend, and Danny's comment was just, okay.
Yep.
So, like, you and Danny in the same company right now.
Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to call out about John Gallagher, which it's all kind of leading up to the finale of this show. John Gallagher, spoilers. John Gallagher made history as the first Austin FC player appointed to the 4ATX Foundation Board of Directors. So it's just so cool. Like we talk about Brad, we talk about Danny, and like to see Gally living this like very public volunteer advocacy life, supporting 4ATX Foundation as a board member is a really cool kind of step up from the work that he's been doing with them. So congrats to the 4ATX Foundation for having a big dad energy on their board now.
Yeah. Really great for him. Super proud. He's feeling that he's becoming a veteran before our very eyes, right?
Yeah,
It's really cool.
it's awesome.
All right. What do you say we get to our interview with SanDiego.Futbol?
Let's do it.
This Sunday afternoon, Austin FC takes on newcomers to the league, San Diego FC, who are currently undefeated. With us today, we've got Tony Sanchez from SanDiego.Futbol. Thank you so much for being here, Tony.
Oh, thank you for the invitation. I love getting to know MLS and everybody who's in between and the faces and stories. So thank you for having me on. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, we are so stoked. I think because it's relatively recent for us, right? We remember that like expansion journey and what that felt like and what that looked like in the media versus what we were seeing locally, right? The national talk is kind of around really big picture things that maybe aren't necessarily as specifically true, in kind of like local facts. And so I'm super excited to dig into some of that with San Diego because all I know is they're coached by Mikey Varas. And so it's a Berhalter school team and they're trying to own the ball a lot. But
Also, you have a magic orb.
oh, yes. Also, there is a magic orb. And I don't think actually that the magic orb gets enough TV time. It feels like a thing that should be a meme already in MLS circles, and I'm shocked it's not. So, Tony, I guess let's start there with the orb. What's the deal?
All right. So you're marrying already, just kind of how, and you know it over in Austin as well, just that marriage of community, marketing, kind of interlacing each other. And that's called the flow ball. It's going to be a new tradition that every home game that's kind of be introduced by some sort of celebrity or some sort of ownership. Here, Manny Machado locally with the San Diego Padres doing the honors. But we actually spoke with the creator of that design, and this was about 4 months after San Diego FC was announced. Just the thought of, yes, it's coming to San Diego. And I saw these just like 3D effects being popped up on some random Instagram. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And actually turned out, right before cameras went on, we were talking about just some of our work. Chiva and I could do coverage at the YMCA. Interestingly enough, that gentleman ended up being a brother of somebody who we took care of in the after school program here in one of the local suburbs in Chula Vista in San Diego. So it was really cool. He didn't know that was going to be part of the tradition. He just kind of got surprised by it. And so now it's really cool to get that story over. And, just again, points where points can be had by big corporation MLS. But it's really good when it does end up working seamlessly where the community is intertwined and or interwoven into one
Hey.
with your marketing for
I
San
was gonna
Diego.
say, is that one of the marketing terms that they're trying to hit home there?
Yeah,
That's
woven
fun.
into one, 18 cities. I mean, we can Chrome and Azul, Los Verdes, like it's all the same probably marketing packet, but hey, it works to a degree.
Yeah. So I like having that context is fun because like for us we have the heartbeat that we start with, and that's always like some sort of celebrity or figure or personality or whatever that comes and gets to do that. And so now that'll be a fun thing for me to look out to see who has the
The orb.
the flow
Oh, the flow ball.
flow
Yeah.
ball. Yeah.
A
It was
lot of
very wizardy. It's very D&D. I loved it. I'm instant in on that. So I guess outside of the orb, what is San Diego feeling? How has it been to get this club and see it come up from the beginning? You've obviously been covering San Diego soccer for much longer than the MLS club. So how has it been for you as a journey?
Yeah, I mean, it's just being an observer and being a local person, just kind of having that line and relationship between sport and what we do and covering the team and being so close to it. It's been a catch-22 of just emotions and just a catch-22 of difficult things that the city has to go through to be able to get what everybody actually wanted, which was MLS. Here in San Diego, the San Diego Chargers leave a giant hole, gaping, terrible, go to LA, getting backstabbed and literally going to the big brother city. Of course, LA gets them, right? And so that's just left a giant hole there. And so San Diego always was a hub. It's always part of the reasoning of World Cup viewership in any sort of tournament. Always San Diego. Always saying they don't even have a team. And so then, the sport has always lived here, especially with Tijuana being like literally, I have the most southwesternly podcasts in the country. I see Tijuana from right here. Like it's incredible. But this just relationship between these two countries, the sport bleeds into each other, right? Like you don't have everybody who's just a baseball player because everybody plays soccer on the weekends with their cousins at the fiestas. Like that's kind of the relationship where it's a very organic. But the way MLS kind of came about is now, well, it has to go through a couple things. And it went through San Diego Loyal. Before that, it was 1904, a NISA club here locally. They played at Qualcomm Stadium. And so once MLS did announce that they were here, it was at what cost? And, it was at the cost of a community that had been built. And it would have been some to say easier to just purchase what was built there in the USL Championship and bringing over a couple fans and save some grace and just do that. But no, that was not the choice made by multi-billionaire Mr. Mohammed Mansour. But that's one of the things that it's just the nature of the beast of the corporation of the business of professional sports in America. And so, money talks. And at least now those same people that got gutted because their team is no longer here are still cheering because this is what you wanted. You wanted MLS. For San Diego. So, at the end of the day, it's been very, very conflicting for people. But on the other side, there's people who didn't even know that there was a soccer team here until now.
right.
And there's those people that are like, oh, Liga MX, MLS, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, like it's here, it's professional. Like, okay, cool. Now we're gonna go. Chucky Lozano. All right, cool. We'll go.
Yeah.
He's injured.
Yeah.
Cool. I already paid season tickets, but all right, let's see.
Yeah, I guess being something that like you mentioned about being so close to Tijuana, I know MLS execs were talking about like we know in San Diego a lot of people go from San Diego over to watch Cholos matches, right? Are you seeing what they were betting on, which was people from Tijuana coming over to San Diego matches yet?
A little bit for the curiosity aspect of it, of San Diego actually being there. It's again just almost hollowed grounds where they're at because the stadium Snapdragon is built in the parking lot of where Qualcomm Stadium used to be. So the tailgating is back, and this is where the appeal to that certain type of audience has been there, and they were successful for it. At the same time, you do also welcome everybody, which means everybody who may know a couple of chants that may be banned and can that be brought out at the end of the day. And so you open up those wide doors, you get who you can, and there is that cross-pollination there. But, you can't really fault somebody who says, well, I'm an SDFC fan, even though I'm a Cholos fan, because there was nothing here. Nothing existed in San Diego in MLS that contended. So there is that cross pollination on and off the field because again, San Diego is the only team in the U.S. that can actively scout in Mexico.
Yeah.
And they can poach some academy players and youngsters through their Right to Dream Academy.
I'm glad you brought that up because that I think is something for Austin that like maybe our listenership might not fully understand. Can you explain what the Right to Dream academies are and why that is such a potential source of like incredible talent for SDFC?
Yeah, it's an ambitious quality of the team to really have this structure where essentially it's a charter school for soccer in the US where the top talents will get sent over to study and just go and be part of this program that you'll live, breathe soccer, still get your required, California, the child still has to go to school. That's still there. But every other time they're focused on soccer. And that's what happens across the world under these different academies. You hear about Barcelona and La Masia, that's where Messi came through. That's where he grew up. That's where he plucked. He was selected, and it's really a private school for soccer. In a lot of ways, even a Xavier School for the Gifted, an X-Men of sorts for the beautiful game. And so they pick the biggest and brightest 13-year-old talents around the country, around the county, and around the area. And they just say, here, you're on the soapbox. You're going to go and travel until you're out of college, and we'll take care of it. We're paying for everything. Everything is going to be a scholarship. We're going to pay all the way through college, even if you don't become a professional soccer player. If you're professional soccer adjacent, that's fine. If you decide not to do anything in soccer, that's fine. We're still paying for this. And so that's a really cool aspect that, again, it happens everywhere else in the world. Chucky Lozano did this exact same thing in Mexico because he came up through Pachuca. And it's, again, that academy sort of mentality. And so eventually you're going to have this wealth of talent, and it's very local. And it's just and it's already established in 3 other countries. Ghana has a Right to Dream Academy. FC Northland is a team that has the Right to Dream philosophy over in in Denmark. And they are the youngest team in Europe by average. And then there's another segment in Egypt. And so you have a wealth of a pool of talents already built in already. And so you add to that something that's going to be coming in for later. You add to that fact that I said, hey, they can go into Mexico and scout. If you offer somebody from Mexico, hey, you get to play soccer, go to the same thing that you would in Pachuca, Chivas, America, Cruz Azul, anywhere in Liga MX, but you can bring your family and you get an education and potentially a green card for your entire family. Like, that's an opportunity right there. Not just for you, but your entire family. And that's going to open a lot of doors because even if you're at the very bottom of Mexico, you have a tío, you have a cousin that lives in Tijuana. Okay, cool. Move up here for a couple months, and you're going to go over and try out. And, that's the beginning of goal 4. The right, the right to dream begins.
Yeah.
I think that's really beautiful that there's the like caveat that if they don't end up in professional soccer, that they still like are taken care of because for me, like the closest relationship to that I have is like Eastern European figure skating academies. And like, if you don't succeed, like you are just gone. Like your whole now your entire family, like survival depends on you being successful and not just like continuing to skate, but winning. And so like that, the pressure that puts on these kids is impossible. And to have the freedom from that must be like, I mean, obviously there's still pressure to succeed, right? Like you're never going to be totally free from that in sports, but it's such a great, important piece to call out. So I'm really glad that that's there.
Additionally, like looking at the list of graduates from the Right to Dream Academy in Ghana, right? Like some of these players are MLS players. Some of these players are like top flight European stars. And so like to tap into that talent, like reservoir, right, in San Diego is just so much. It puts them so much further ahead in the like development strategy than a lot of kind of other expansion clubs in MLS, right? So I guess from the on the field side of the San Diego experience so far, Tony, how close is the national media perspective that Mikey Varas is playing Berhalter system ball? It's going to be a 4-3-3. They're going to control the heck out of it, and they're going to try and suffocate your chances by just not giving you the ball.
Yeah, it's pedal to the metal, just 100%. Let's go style soccer. For the more seasoned, I think a total football type of analogy where it's literally there's no positions. Everybody just go get the ball and try to get the ball away. Once we have the ball, you're going to be where you need to be. Just fit yourself somewhere within, like water in a cup. It just kind of fits itself in, and everybody knows that they have to work together, like
It flows. It flows, if you will.
It flows.
Wow.
And so
somebody's a marketer.
See, we're making it happen. And so with Right to Dream, again, attached to that, Right to Dream is also a philosophy of playing. It's a way of teaching how to keep possession of the ball, maintain the ball, how to be selfish with the ball. You're not going to let the other team score if they don't have the ball. So I think the best way, there's only one on the field, so might as well keep it and then do what you want with it and really just kind of tire everybody out. But at any point, you can always strike, and you are lethal on that strike. And you have some players on San Diego FC that can definitely do that. But it's a style of play that needs to be learned. It's a different metronome. It's per se. So I'll throw somebody in there. Yepes Sverskov. He's a number 6. He's a midfielder. You'll find him right in the middle. One of the European ones. You'll kind of just pick him out. But what you'll notice is that when he should get rid of a ball, when you see him play, you're like, okay, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Okay, move forward. Okay, do this. He does the complete opposite of what he would do. Super calm, super composed, and says, no, I can do it this other way. And he does it and is seamless with it. But you're like, he's playing at a different beat. And that's what this team is. They're putting a band together, and it's a rock band. But guess what? The drummer knows jazz, and he can just know everything and pick it up. And now you can go ahead and have all these other awesome instruments in there, just going solo on Anders Dryers. You go ahead and do whatever you want. When Chucky Lozano comes back, figure yourself out. This beat in the midfield is still going to go. We got you.
That's really cool. I'm super excited to watch for that now this weekend. I will definitely I tend to watch not the ball a lot because I'm interested in moods and who is getting cranky that they don't have the ball. So I'm really kind of excited to hear that system and tune into that a little bit more while I'm watching. We know Chucky Lozano is out for a little while. You mentioned Yepe. Who are some other players that we should be specifically watching out for, or I guess just watching this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, to answer also your other question, yeah, they're shutting people's mouths up. Mikey Vadas and company are shutting people up, and the pundits have no idea what they had. And this is honestly all me saying, I didn't know what I was going to get. I didn't know who Yepes Verskov was. I didn't know who Oni Valakari was, who was a goal scorer here at Snapdragon last weekend to tie it up against Columbus. Player who scored in his debut against France with a beautiful outside shot. He's a Finnish player, played in Finland. But again, this Moneyball type of way of looking and scouting players from everywhere has found somebody like Oni Valakari. Are you guys familiar with the country of Cyprus? Yeah, it's a country.
Conceptually, yeah.
Yeah, it's not. But most people can't think of it outside of any sort of Greek Minoan ancient wartime storybook.
Yeah, certainly not footballing nation, right?
And Oni Valakari was plucked out by GM Tyler Heaps. And so, another name that we were thinking of is Tomas Angel, who is a 22-year-old Colombian striker who's, his dad is of pedigree in MLS. So he's somebody who's very lethal up front, who's going to step in for for Marcus Invartsen. These are names that, again, don't worry, we didn't know. I didn't know about this about 4 months ago. No idea who these people were. But you start to really see the phenotype of this type of player. Like, okay, this is how they play. This is what type of player they are. I'm just going to attach a name to it. And a name right now that is very loud here in San Diego is Anders Dreyer. He is lighting MLS up on the right side. Everybody was worried about Chucky. Guess what? That means that nobody expected the Danish Inquisition here through the right side, because he is absolutely a workhorse. He is doing things that, you'd expect somebody in the top European leagues to be doing, but he's taking time to adjust as well. So that's somebody that's the number 10, the talismans. You always got to look out for the talismans, the number 10s.
Yeah. Andres Dreyer has been amazing for my fantasy team. This week, he won't be selected, so hopefully he stays quiet for us.
Yeah, I
but-
feel like I'm getting nervous. I've never felt this nervous in an opponent spotlight before, but I'm so hype on this style of play for San Diego, the way that you've described it. So I am like, I've been excited about how we've been playing this season, but now I'm like, ooh, is it going to be enough?
And to that point, like, one of the things that we've seen from San Diego is they're going to play the same way, home or away, right? We saw them try to control the ball away at LA. Is this their longest trip yet?
Correct. Yes. I mean, altitude wise, probably not, because Salt Lake is pretty up there.
Yeah.
But just the travel. Yeah. You mentioned it right there. In preseason, head coach Mike Vadas told us that he had just overlaid a picture of Europe over the United States. And just to give everybody just the perspective of, like, guys, this is different. When San Diego Loyal was here, it was actually charted that San Diego Loyal was the sports team that traveled the most in the world, just miles, for that one season, because it's the corner of the States, like literally the most southwestern corner that you could possibly do. And then you go everywhere. I know just West Coast teams do have that, but it's a part of the team. It's a part of the league. It's a part of the game here in the States that you have to be ready for and prepared for.
Yeah, I think for San Diego and for Vancouver, right, like these teams that are on the far ends, about as far as you can get away from each other, right, especially deal with that travel a lot. Do you expect Mikey to come out and play the same game as always in Austin?
He's going to play the exact same game every single time. And that's going to be frustrating because of exactly that. He's going to be stubborn. They're going to be stubborn with this style of play. If they're winning 3-0, they're going to try to keep the ball and be patient with it. If they're losing 3-0, they're going to try to keep the ball and try to unlock and try to solve the puzzle of the other team, even if it means you let in a 4-0. But guess what? The game's going to end 4-1, and it worked once, and you're going to build from that, right? That's the coach speak, that you're going to look back and be like, well, post-match, hey, guys, how was the game? You guys lost 5-0. What did you think? Well, the performance was great. Okay. All right.
Oh, God, I'm getting Joshua flashbacks over here.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think, you're going to see the exact same thing. What players are going to be out there and how they'll execute may be different because of international breaks and injuries, like I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what do you think the keys are to success for San Diego this weekend at Austin?
Next man up. It's really just being able to have everybody adapt to the missing pieces there. Again, Chucky Lozano, clearly not somebody who is just fundamentally key to have the machine of MLS, of SDFC move in the right direction. Now you have Marcos Invarson, who is out. That's the center forward, right down the middle. That's striker. So you have that spine of San Diego FC that's a little shattered because, yes, you have Serskov in the middle going to both defense and midfield and sometimes offense. But then up there, you have that DNA with another right to dream graduate, Marcos Invarson, who scored one goal, but is very important in, again, dictating where everybody's supposed to be in this style. He's absent. He's going to be out for the next couple of weeks. So now it's going to be a matter of who's going to step up and really fill in that role and help this style move forward, because if not, it's going to be a disaster class. And Austin, I think, has a real shot to really exploit those holes. And if they can do that with their 4-4-2, like, they can be successful against San Diego and maybe deliver a first loss.
Well, good news for y'all. That 4-4-2 right now is really more like a 2-4-2, and we don't have anyone to fill in the gaps of the first four. So
yeah, we're dealing with a little bit of injuries on our side. We're dealing with a little bit of international call-ups. We're piecing it together as well this weekend.
Our back line is looking thin.
MLS we're a little bit past the
Yeah.
time where we can play through international breaks, y'all. Let's stop that. But what is the current local narrative around San Diego?
Like, how are folks feeling? What's the vibe?
It must be good, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the know, you're kind of looking at this at this team and saying, okay, cool, we have a winner. Like that's right now on paper, they're winners, and let's hop on that bandwagon while it's still hot right now. So there's still a lot of people who don't even pay attention to soccer again in general. It's not part of what they do, or even if it is. Guess what? I already have my Liga MX team. Like, why am I going to watch MLS? Like, I don't care who's here. Chucky Lozano, am I ever going to see him in the national team for Mexico? Probably not. Like, that's kind of that thought process, right? Like, it's not that marquee signing, but for those who are just following the team, it's exciting. It's exciting. It's as exciting as it's been because this team has been overly ambitious on and off the field. And to be completely honest, even though they've shot themselves in the foot a couple times off field, specifically, they've been able to walk the walk. And I think right now, like I will give credit whenever credit's due. And right now, hey, they're doing good. Snapdragon Stadium is buzzing. There is, more people have asked me than any, like, hey, what's going on here? What's going on here? Like, yeah, like that's it's really cool to see a city kind of unite for something again. But we'll see what happens if they ever lose. Are they capable of losing? I don't know. Like
We hope
we'll
so,
see.
man. Oof.
Yeah, we'll find out. Fingers crossed at some point.
But yeah, I have a friend who grew up in San Diego, moved to LA, and he went back to San Diego for the first home match because he has never watched a soccer game in his life, but was so excited about just what's happening in the city that he had to be there. And so it's such a cool thing to attract folks to go home or come home or like travel out to experience it.
Yeah, and I think for the tumult around ownership and kind of, the history of soccer in San Diego, there's I want to give a big shout out to the head coach Mikey Varas, who like is doing his best with what his situation is, right? He's a pro soccer coach, and so he has to get his job where he can get it and do the things that he can do and control the things that he can control and like convince his players to leave everything else outside of that, right? And it seems like he's got a team that is buying into the concept and he's saying the right things around the fan experience that he's looking for, right? You had mentioned it right up off the jump with the chant, right? And knowing that Mikey Varas is coming out to say what he said during that opening match, right? Like this isn't how we're gonna do it. Obviously, I think ownership could be taking a stronger stance against that sort of thing. But like he can only control what he can control, and if he's saying it's not cool in his press conferences when like unbidden, I think that's great.
Yeah, no, we were towards the end of that game. Chiva and I were in the press box, and we're just like, okay, we're gonna have to ask him. Like, that's gonna be the first question, unfortunately, right? Like, first ever home game. This, like, what's the narrative? Like, and so we were prepared to be that first question. Yes. Tony Sanchez, Futbol. Hey, what did you? But no, he came out, sat down. Message from head coach Mikey Varas right off the bat. Guys, don't do it. That's not who we are. That's not what this is. Cool, excellent. And so, really putting a stamp on that. It's the blueprint laid by LAFC, which is a lot of the things that San Diego FC have done in the past to their own success as well. But, first thing, throw the coach out there, message, have and join with the union, the Independent Supporters Union for a combined message, video boards up, messages before the game up, have players make statements up. It would have been nice to have Chucky Lozano there, even though he was injured. He was still shaking hands with Manny Machado, but Anibal Godoy, great, sure. Panamanian captain, okay, it gets it done. So it's just an unfortunate thing, and to have to even discuss to people at the very minimum, hey, you can feel how you feel about that word. If at the end of the day, you're taking yourself from the fan experience, from the fan seats, and inserting yourself in the game in a negative way for your team, I don't think that's very smart and a very smart investment with your time and money But who am I to decide who is going to do what they want with their autonomy? But guess what?
Yeah.
These are the rules inlaid. Do it, you're out. Don't be a dick. Just don't do it. You're out. I'm so sorry. If there's no cursing, I'm so sorry. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. No seas canijo. Like there's no need for that. And if we want to take it down to, hey, the root of the word is this, that's a different conversation. I'm planning a video if it happens again, just me arguing against myself. Like just I understand it being Mexican. That be my first language. Growing up playing soccer in Tijuana, like that's how I learned the game. I understand the whys of things. That doesn't necessarily mean I can't accept new input and think otherwise after that. So it's a difficult conversation. I think we all know, and that's the thing. I'm willing to have it. I'm willing to entertain it and see your side of this argument, because it brought out the worst out of people in terms of free speech. You got to let us do this. Well, this is not a word. Why are you telling us how to speak our language? And don't need that, guys. It's a game. It's un juego.
Right.
It's a juego.
Yeah, no, I think that like someone with the patience to have that conversation is really beneficial to the community. So great work, and also it must be exhausting, and so much easier. Yeah, for our audio, Tony has a sign that just says "Aquí no, not here," and it's like a little like parking sign, little flyer.
Yeah, every cup holder in Snapdragon had this. Everybody on the press box got one of these, and I'm like, guys, I didn't say it. It wasn't okay. But message heard signed from Tom Penn and Miguel Barajas, from the president of the Supporters Union.
Yeah, and I think that like for folks on the outside, I think that's a really important thing to call out, that like supporters of this club are not the ones that are like driving that behavior, right? And they are actively working to stop it. And so like for our listenership who may only have heard, oh, they have said the word at that stadium, right? Like there's more to it than that. And I know that when the San Diego fans come to Austin this weekend, they'll be welcomed. We love our visiting fans, 99% of them. Houston, stay home. And like we understand that kind of nuance, I think, but it is still really valuable to call out that like there's layers to this, y'all, and the folks who we are going to interact with as fans and supporters likely are not the folks that are like carrying this tradition into MLS.
Yeah, and I'll even go further, right? Let's put it back on the people who aren't chanting, not just having those conversations. Just realizing that when I call out the San Diego soccer community for that embarrassing behavior, that includes you, unfortunately, because this is a team. Everybody in the stadium is a team. Unfortunately, your teammate from the South End let you down, and you still lost that game. You might have had a great game, but at the end of the day, that teammate let you down. So how are you going to help them out? Because that's their thing. That's their issue. How are you going to be somebody who's going to bring them up and say, hey, let's at least get to here because this is where I need you. So there's a lot of work to be done, guys.
Well, Tony, thank you so much for being here, man. We really appreciate it. Where can everybody find the work that y'all are doing?
Absolutely. You can find all of our work on our website, SanDiego.Futbol, Futbol. That's literally it, no .com. That's .Futbol. Or on any social media, Blue Sky, X. You can find us on Instagram and everywhere. SanDiego.Futbol for that handle. And I also do color commentary for the San Diego Sockers, the indoor team. You guys have an indoor team? Yeah, you do. You're in Texas. So you guys have the Dallas Sidekicks and the Outlaws. Indoor soccer. It's fun. You guys should give it a try.
Where are the Outlaws?
Mesquite. Again,
okay.
I know it's huge out there in Texas. So
let me lay over a map of Texas and a map of Europe, and I will explain why we will never go there.
I do want to call out we have a lot of NWSL fans in the house, and y'all cover the wave. So just wanted to say it.
Yeah, with great coverage too.
Yeah, make sure you're following SanDiego.Futbol because they do excellent work across all soccer.
Yes. Thank you again. Good luck on Sunday.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll see. Not too much. We'll go for a healthy tie, right? Let's have fun out there, guys.
We'll go for a 1-0 win. Have a great one, Tony.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again, Tony, for coming on and chatting with us. It was really great to hear a little bit more about San Diego and the play style. I'm really excited for this weekend. We're gonna crush. We're gonna win 8-1. We're gonna do that, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I did remove all the San Diego players from my fantasy team. I'm not messing around.
Good.
Thank you all so much for listening. Steph, one more question.
Yeah.
Who's the man of your jersey?
Well, this week it is John Gallagher.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're officially a galley gal.
this week I am. Me and Danny's mom.
That's right.
I really love seeing him kind of like step into a really like confident adult. Like not that he wasn't an adult before, but like it seems like he's grown up a lot just in confidence and like being sure of himself this year. And I really like seeing that. It's super nice to watch that happen.
Yeah, definitely deserving. Also, John Gallagher's parents, if you're listening, we would love to have you on the show.
Yes. Agree.
All right, we are officially at the point where Landon won't let me give away last year's merch package anymore. So sign up for the Patreon for the 2025 merch package, which I have learned is pretty cool, and I am very excited for everyone to get it. Again, that's patreon.com/Moontower Soccer. Rate, review, subscribe, give us 5 stars. Tell all your friends. Tell all of your enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Tell strangers.
Yeah.
We would love that. Tell us a story about a time you told a stranger about Swoontower Soccer.
That's the best gift you could give. Thank you all for listening. We love you.
Bye.